How to make $400,000 buying an accounting firm, and I'm not an accountant. I'm going to show you exactly how you can buy $400,000 in cash flow through the purchase of an accounting firm with no CPA license, no nothing. Sound good? We'll go over why I'm choosing to acquire an accounting firm, how I found the deal, how I'm structuring the purchase, and how I will fund it. Let's go. Remember the acronym MRR from my last video? If you haven't watched it, here's a link right here. It means moat, recurring revenue, and recession resistance. Now, the accounting firms check all three of those boxes. Specific education needed for credibility, that's the industry moat. Taxes and bookkeeping are recurring services. And the only two things in life you cannot escape are death and taxes. So it is definitely recession resistant. But I'm not an accountant, you might say. Well, neither am I. You don't need to be, because I can hire or promote someone who is. There's no licensing requirement to do taxes or bookkeeping. CPAs are licensed and could do other things such as audits, but for taxes and bookkeeping, you do not need a license. How did I find the deal? This is an on-market deal and it was found through the site withkumo.com. WithKumo is an awesome aggregation site that brings all listed deals around the country into one searchable database. The link and coupon in the description below if you want to try it out. I highly recommend it. This deal is in New York State, not the city, and it is a not so desirable area for many people that are not local to the business. Now, since I buy all over the country, I'm open to deals where most other buyers are not looking. So why am I buying an accounting firm? Outside of the MRR that I mentioned before, I'm bullish on accounting firms for a few other reasons. There is a shortage of new blood coming into the profession. Most accounting professionals are baby boomers and are retiring over the next few years, and there is a lack of new replacement. Now that creates a supply-demand opportunity. Many firms are archaic in their business practices. There's a lack of outsourcing generic W-2 returns that can be done by other people outside the US for much cheaper. There's no outbound marketing, there's very limited cloud capabilities, and there's a lack of high-ticket services like fractional CFO. Accounting firms can be very scalable business models that have multiple add-ons, like fractional CFO services, which are high-ticket recurring services. Accounting firms are very inexpensive for the cash flow. Let me explain. The accounting industry goes by a different set of valuation multiples than most other small to medium-sized businesses. Instead of a 2 to 4x cash flow as a typical valuation model, accounting firms are 1 to 1.25x the annual revenue. Now, how does that make it better, you might ask? You take an accounting firm that's doing $1 million a year in annual revenue. That firm would be worth anywhere between $1 and $1.25 million. Now, for this example, let's make it $1 million. An accounting firm at that size can do between 40 to 55% in cash flow, which would be $400,000 to $550,000 a year in profit. So you can spend $1 million to make $500,000. After debt service, you're making your money back in around 3 years. That is a ridiculous return. So now that you understand why I'm focusing on accounting firms, let's dig into the deal I'm currently looking at in New York. I found this deal through a broker that specializes in the accounting vertical. Accounting firms usually sell to other accounting firms, so there are brokers who are specialized in this field. The broker sent me the deal, and after looking at the numbers, I was really interested. Not only is the deal extremely profitable, but it also comes with the real estate that the business is based in. The real estate is valued around $220,000, and it's a fairly new building for the area, which is less than 15 years old. The business has been around for over 75 years. It has been passed down through 2 separate generations and has a very loyal local customer base. The structure I'm doing is as follows. The purchase price is going to be for $950,000. The revenue, as I mentioned before, is $1.2 million. The cash flow right now is at $550,000, and the SBA 7A loan I'm going to get for it is going to cover 80%, so $760,000. The seller is going to do a note for $95,000, which is 10% on full standby for the first 2 years, and then 3-year amortization at 6% rate. I will bring $95,000 to the deal through an investor. The investor for that $95,000 will get 12.5% equity in the deal for bringing the down payment. And since the investor is less than 20% equity, they do not need to be a guarantor on the loan. Based on the $95,000 cash injection and a 12.5% equity stake, the investor will roughly make $50,000 a year for a 52% cash-on-cash return. Not too shabby. As you have no doubt noticed, I'm getting this deal done with zero out of my own pocket. Year 1 after paying the debt service, increasing the manager's salary, and paying my investor, I will walk away with somewhere around $400,000 in profit. There is no other way to get this type of cash flow in such a short period of time that I'm aware of. To those who are frantically Googling accounting firms right now, hear me say that. Buying a business is not easy. It carries inherent risk. Taking a personal guarantee on the loan is a big decision that should be taken seriously. You need to understand how to run a business and how to grow it. This is the fastest way to grow generational wealth. If you want to learn more about acquiring cash flowing businesses, leave a comment below and we can get started.